Spooky Soulmates. We have an off-the-cuff episode for you guys today.
It's the end of a season.
Our season 1 is coming to a close, and we thought we'd just give you guys kind of a fun little behind-the-scenes get-to-know-us episode.
Yeah. And at the very end, we're going to include some bloopers that I've been saving up.
I can't
and they're
wait
really
to hear
funny.
them myself.
So stay tuned all the way to the end so you can hear how dumb we are.
And you can hear... You can hear how much work actually goes into editing because we have to cut out a lot.
Yeah. I should have saved like all of the stumbles over the words and just done like a monologue of just
it's like beatboxing.
Oh.
Well, we're going to hopefully make this first part like not even edited. You're just, I mean,
why edit at this point?
Exactly. And we should just like obviously
it'll be a blooper sandwich.
Yes. Okay, well, before we jump into it, you know where to find us. Good Luck Sleeping Podcast on Instagram. The Good Luck Sleeping Podcast on Facebook. GL Sleeping on Twitter. Good Luck Sleeping Podcast @gmail.com is where you can talk to us and send us in your stories.
Which, please do that while we're on a break.
Yes.
We were on a break. Sorry. Anybody know that Friends episode? While we're on a break, send us some stories so we can come back strong with a listener stories episode next year.
That's right.
Holy crap.
That's right.
How is 2019 almost over?
It's bananas. BANANAS. Shit. It's bananas. And I have to.
They're not going to miss that.
And also, I didn't say our website, but you guys know what it is.
Goodlucksleeping.libsyn.com.
Yes. We just put together some questions that we're going to ask each other and then both answer.
Well, first, just in case y'all like missed this announcement, this episode is going to go up sometime at the end of November.
Yes.
And we're taking December off. And then we're coming back 2020.
Strong.
And fresh.
Yeah.
And refocused.
Season 2.
And probably severely sleep deprived because I will have a newborn.
So, yeah. We wanted to kind of go out with a bang.
Yeah.
And give you guys something fun to listen to and to get to know us a little bit better.
Yeah.
So.
Because we're so interesting.
I was like, that sounds so self-indulgent.
Yeah. We just know you're dying to know what we do behind the scenes. No, it was really just things to like help us reflect over this first season and kind of remember.
Yeah.
Remember.
All right, I have to get my cat out of here. All right, so we're not stopping. Kaila, don't edit this out, okay? This is real time. I'm picking up my cat and
it's
kicking
like
her
we're
out
just
of the room.
trying to piece together this episode into something substantial.
All right, hold on.
Just keep it all in, Kaila.
Be right back.
Just go. I'm talking while you're as she runs across the room to get the cat. The murder muffin. Or is that Lennon? No, that's the murder muffin. Bye, murder muffin.
So, do you want me to ask the first question?
We're both answering, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're both answering every question. I love to get like an overview of how this episode's going to play out. I do this every time and it's so stupid. Okay. Go.
Okay. What is the best thing about podcasting?
Okay, so I wrote down the answers before because I have baby brain and I would have been like, So I love having time set aside each week to sit down and have interesting conversations with you because you are one of my best friends. And it's not like, if you think about it, a lot of conversations are just small talk or like things that you need to get said.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, how often do you take the time to sit down and like discover and explore unique topics and then discuss them?
Right.
You know, and I feel like my brain is dying because the child is sucking the intelligence out of me. And this is like exercising my brain in a really interesting way.
Oh, that's a great answer. Cool. I didn't write my answers down. You can see the differences in our personality.
She's been busy planning my baby shower. So.
Oh, that's true too. That's the fun part of my week. So my favorite thing about podcasting is the topics we cover, jumping into this niche that is not well known, and not really talked about much, and just being a representative for this topic and this, like, the whole mysterious genre, and, you know, getting conversations started with people through our social media.
So many people.
Yeah. And just kind of talking to like-minded people. It also stretches me because I am not the type of person to follow through with things. I'm a really good starter, but not a good finisher. And this has helped me kind of grow as a person and just kind of keep on trucking. And I also like to just have time for me because Kaila and I are both stay-at-home moms.
Yes.
Kaila she does do a little something on the side too, but
you make it
like you're a prostitute. You are, Kaila.
Okay.
Don't be ashamed of
Prostitute's a buzzword. We have to say sex worker. I just read this today. So
Really?
yeah, so say it again.
Kayla's a sex worker.
I am
That's what she does on the side. Okay?
No. I'm a data entry person.
Just kidding. She does,
I get yelled at all day,
She
okay?
works on the phone.
Yeah, with my sexy cold voice that I've had for 5 weeks. Hey, what can I do for you?
So, no, but this is like, time for mom, time for me, and I just get to hang out with one of my best friends.
And a coherent conversation that's not toddler babble.
Right, and just chat.
Or our husbands who are sitting there going, you gotta talk about ghosts again.
Like, hey, babe, we talk about the Loch Ness Monster. Do you know what new information they found about the Loch Ness? And he's like, I can see his eyes glazing over. So
mine just ignores me completely. I literally had a conversation with myself the other day, and there was like silence. And I was like, did you hear that? And he goes, huh? I was reading an article.
Oh,
you jerk.
So it's also grown our friendship too, because I mean, we've had to, figure things out together, and it's brought us closer together just by, hanging out every week and doing this. So that's been really nice.
Okay, I'll ask the second one. What's the scariest thing that has happened to you since you started podcasting?
We're going to answer this at the end. But for
well, I just paraphrased.
Okay.
But you go first.
Okay, expelling a demon from my house. That's the scariest thing that's happened to me.
Same, but I had to do it twice. I had 2 malevolent entities enter my home and harass me and my kid, which was the, no, you don't do that. Mm-hmm. Mama Bear came out.
That's right. So, when you talk about these type of things and this topic, sometimes things listen.
I never would have thought that some of these topics would attract things, though. Because the one entity followed me after episode 3, which that's the black-eyed kids and the shadow people. Yep. And I guess it makes sense because shadow people love to scare the crap out of you. But it's just like, come on. I was just talking about you. I didn't give you an invitation. Now the demon.
we kind of said, hey, what you doing? You want to talk to us? We'll get to that at the end.
#regrets.
How have your beliefs changed or grown since starting the podcast? Or have they remained the same?
Well, I came in here believing only in angels and demons.
Yep.
Still definitely believe in those. But I also believe ghosts are real. I believe in spirit guides. Mm-hmm. I believe that I've had visitation from my grandfather. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've learned a lot about myself as a person. Like, I have ESP.
Yeah, that was a fun realization.
I know. And the more that I learn about life paths and that sort of stuff, I just feel like I get to know myself better.
Yeah.
So that's been really interesting.
Yeah. There's been a lot of enlightening topics that we've covered for sure.
And I'm still skeptical. I'm not totally gullible.
Yeah.
I don't know about Nessie, but but it's nice expanding my horizons and finally understanding that ghosts exist.
Yeah. Yeah. And you also believe in Bigfoot now, right? You forgot to say that. Right? Do you want to go squatching with me after the baby comes?
I'm good.
All right. Well, whatever.
How have your beliefs changed or grown, Rachel?
I came into this believing in a lot of things, and now I believe in even more things.
Except for, what was the one thing that you didn't buy?
Reptilians?
Oh, well, okay. 2 things. Because there was something the anguished man.
The painting.
That shit's totally staged.
Oh, yeah.
It was great.
That was a tough one for me.
But you believe Bigfoot.
100% he's real. They've studied his fur and encased or casted his footprints. He's out there. I believe. He's just really good at hide and seek. He's an all-star. So, no, I wouldn't say that my beliefs have really changed. But they've grown into believing all of the things.
I mean, you already did, but
but I wasn't aware of some of the things that you've presented.
You're not gullible now. You're educated.
That's right. That's
exactly.
right. Yeah.
So I wanted to know, what's the coolest thing you've learned in your research for the podcast episodes?
The coolest thing, it has to be the conspiracy theory episodes.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I'll be honest, a lot of conspiracies, I guess that's one thing that has grown, because before I would think of conspiracies as like, oh, okay, you're being paranoid, like calm down. And
But
now
you're like, oh my God, guys.
Now I actually changed my name on Facebook and edited all of my personal information.
You didn't change it on Instagram, though. You know that, right?
Oh, shoot, I gotta fix that. Because I am petrified of the Clintons. You guys, I'm terrified.
By this point, you will have heard that episode, and oh my God.
Yes.
Hopefully we're still here.
I mean, right? Oh my gosh, what if this becomes a tribute episode instead of a recap episode? Anyway, so yeah, I would say that.
Okay. I mean, mine was the same. I joked at first about the ESP thing. I mean, that was pretty cool to learn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I was pretty stoked to learn, the things the government has researched
Yeah.
in relation to
yeah.
like extraterrestrial life. Things that we thought were like just science fiction, but they've actually researched them and put money into it.
Yeah, the aliens episode was awesome.
Yeah.
For me.
mean, that blows my mind. And to me, that gives like some substantial proof
Right.
that crap's out there.
What is your personal favorite episode?
Mine is Conspiracy Theories Volume 2, because first of all, we didn't know what the other was doing.
Yep.
And you did the Denver airport. I did the Illuminati. And then they tied in so beautifully.
They really did.
And I don't know. I get like this high when I'm like uncovering information that very few people know about.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love, it's like I have a little secret and I get to share it with everybody. That episode is one of our most popular, most downloaded episodes. And I think it's because, people believe it.
Yeah.
It's not like just a conspiracy theory. Like, I've had more conversations about that episode than any other episode, probably, because people just had no clue that there was concrete evidence that the Illuminati existed.
Right.
And that they're recruiting people.
Yeah.
And stalking me, apparently. So that just blew my mind.
Yeah, that was crazy interesting and terrifying all at the same time.
What's your favorite episode?
I say it's a tie between the number 3.
I knew it.
Which is Black
Dun,
Eyed Kids
dun,
and
dun.
Shadow People, or the same, the conspiracy episode, volume 2, because when we get really excited and passionate about something and then are able to like talk about it with each other, and we're both genuinely excited in what the other person is saying and what they've researched, that is like super gratifying.
Yeah,
so
it is. When you can like blow this person's mind that you're like, I feel like we're related, like we're really close and we're on the same wavelength. And when you can come in here and just be like, what? It's just like crack.
Yeah, it's so fun. And then just to put that out into the universe and for people to like, listen to it and react to it, that is just it's really gratifying to me. And opening people's eyes is also,
yes,
like, it's really fun. And like opening people's eyes with a lot of things, not just the conspiracy theory episodes, like doppelgangers and aliens and, just like all of the things where people could have gone into the episode saying, no, there's no way I believe in that. Absolutely not. And then after we present it, they come out, with a possible maybe.
Yeah.
And that's really cool to me.
Well, it's always interesting to me because a lot of times I go into the episode being that person going, there's no way, especially after the chupacabra thing. Now I'm kind of wondering if the chupacabra exists because it's the alien's pet, but that'll always be my joke. But, going into it with the possibility of this may not pan out. I'm still going to present it because it's happened a couple times, but it may not pan out. And then to have it pan out so beautifully.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good.
My favorite messages from Kaila are, I just found the best research. I just found like something that's going to put like a lid on like, or blow the lid off of this whole thing. Like those are my favorite messages to get because I'm like, oh shit, I'm in for a treat.
She's
when she comes. Yeah. So I love
Get
that.
the red yarn out and the pins. On the wall.
I have to poop.
Now you have to let me put that in there. Wow, when you poop, it's like locked and loaded. You're just in and out.
I'm not a man.
Right? Okay. Do you feel better?
I do. Thank you.
Fresh.
Yes. As a daisy.
Okay. What concept has scared you the most that you've covered? Once again.
Possession.
Oh, well, we deleted that.
We deleted it.
We'll get more into that at the end.
Otherwise, honestly, I think Black Eyed Kids really kind of messed me up a little bit. Just because I've always been interested in, like, whenever I go through Reddit or do one of my nightly bedtime stories of creepiness, if I come across a Black Eyed Kids episode, it really gets to me.
The pictures alone.
Yeah.
It's like when you see that, it's like, well, great. I'm going to see that every time I close my eyeballs. Thank you.
And just how, like, more common they are than I thought, and how many people have stories in situations with them. And I did read a book that had Black Eyed Kids in it once. It was like a scary horror book, and that was really terrifying. So my husband travels sometimes, and I guess sometimes I just lay in bed picturing a knock on the door late at night, and it just makes me want to scream. It's terrifying.
Just don't ever answer your door.
I 100%.
That's what I don't.
Never would. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't answer my door because it's usually a solicitor trying to sell me something.
Yeah.
I ain't about that life.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, so the concept that scared me the most, again, is conspiracy theories. Just because.
And the Clintons.
Yeah, they're terrifying. Most of the time, they end up not actually being theories.
Yeah.
They're just something that the government or the media is trying to bury and cover up. And, like, the fact that we're being recorded and listened to by big corporations is terrifying. The fact that the Illuminati is real and recruiting is terrifying. The fact that the Clintons exist is terrifying.
Yes.
The fact, like, in the aliens thing, like, how much out there is the government trying to hide from us? Like, they literally had a document hidden away about all the things they were researching, and they had to release it because of the Freedom of Information Act. Yeah. Otherwise, we would have never known about that.
Which I'm still surprised that they didn't, like, find a loophole or just delete it anyway, or, I don't know.
Well, okay. NASA was recruiting somebody to be, like, intergalactic relations. Why are they filling a position for that if we aren't already going out intergalactically?
Right. I also would never apply for that if I was in the running.
No. Although Stargate was really good. I don't know if Daniel was there. I might.
Okay. If you had to meet one of the entities that we've covered face to face, which one would it be?
Is it cheating to say angels?
Yeah, one of the others.
Okay, if I had to pick a scarier one, I think I would go with aliens because they just, like, probe you or have sex with you and then, like, wipe your memory of it, and you never know.
Oh.
Unless you get pregnant and then you have an alien baby.
Right.
But, like, that's rare. And usually to the men. So, I just feel like I would rather not remember it.
Fair enough.
Unless I decide to go get hypnotized.
Fair enough. Okay.
Which, if we do a hypnosis episode, that would be interesting.
Wouldn't that be? We should try, like.
Well, you already might be part alien.
Ain't that the truth?
So then you, like, remember.
Oh my gosh. What if?
Again.
We need to, like, look up home hypnosis. Like, how to do it at home.
No, Rachel. We don't need to DIY anything ever again. I
feel like it's a little safer than the last thing we tried.
Is it, though? Have you seen Get Out, the movie?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, spoiler alert. The mom hypnotizes the black guy, and he, like, falls into her teacup mentally and is trapped in, like, this other land, just floating around in darkness until she calls him forward. What? Because he's in hypnosis.
Oh, that's messed up.
So, no.
Well, I won't put you in a teacup. You'll be fine. I bet I'll be really good at it. We'll figure it out. Okay,
what entity are you now?
Oh, would I want to meet face to face?
Yes.
The Loch Ness Monster.
Of course you would.
100%.
You'd like swim with him, like have one of those meet and greets like with a dolphin.
Just riding
Pet
his back. Yeah.
Kiss Nessie.
I want to know more than anything in my entire life if he's actually in the loch. Like, I want to see him.
I'm shocked you didn't say Bigfoot. Or Mothman. Like, you're in love with Mothman.
I do love Mothman. But I think I would be terrified if I actually saw him. Because he's a
harbinger of doom,
right,
Rachel.
He's a bad omen bringer. I would not want to see him.
You finally admitted it.
He is, but he's just doing his job.
Took a whole season, but you finally admitted it.
I mean, I admitted it before. He's just doing his job. He just gets a bad rap.
So does Satan, Rachel.
No, but I picture the Mothman just being like, "Oh, hey guys, real quick, if you could not go on this bridge that I'm perched on, that would be great, because I'm a bad message bringer."
But he doesn't. He just stands there and stares at them as they all die.
If I'm sitting on this bridge, don't go on it, dude. Like, I just picture him trying real hard to help people.
But he doesn't. He just sits there and watches them die.
Maybe they're just not smart enough to understand his
word.
message. So anyway, Loch Ness Monster. What's the hardest thing?
Wait, it was my turn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the hardest? What's the hardest thing about podcasting, Rachel?
Coming up with concepts.
Can you not copy me?
Oh, is that what you're going to say?
Yes.
Sorry. Well, we can have the same answer. It's
Okay, you share why it's hard for you.
So we ride a thin line of wanting to cover scary,
shocking
content. Give you guys just like in your face scary content, but not wanting it to mess with us too much mentally. So what we've done, and I don't know if you've noticed, we've kind of started to try to at least do a creepier episode followed by an unusual, mysterious, maybe
palate cleanser
episode that still fits in our genre, but it kind of just offsets the really creepy. It gets to be emotionally draining if we go in too hard for too long.
Which is why I think episode 3 brought something into my life, because I had to take it home and edit it.
Yeah.
So that was one point that we talked about recently, was like, I have to do this twice.
Yeah.
So it's like double the invite for these things. And so we did like 3 really scary episodes in the beginning when we first started out, because we had no concept that this could like bring something in.
Right.
And after that, we were like, okay, we got to take a breather.
So I definitely say that. And, there was a definite learning curve. Kaila really does. She has more on her shoulders than I do. She's you do, because Kaila edits, and she's really good at marketing us.
Okay, but those are like hobbies. That's different.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still part of it, and it's still something that it takes time and it takes effort. And so with me, I have a little bit of a lighter load as far as, just trying to help come up with concepts and marketing us as best as I can right now. It's going to change a little bit when Kaila has baby number 2, because it's a lot to podcast and be a mom, it's a lot.
Well, and see, that's the thing, is you've got a youngin' right now.
Yeah.
Like, mine's 3.5. He's somewhat self-sufficient, somewhat. So I have time.
Right.
But pretty soon I'm going to have Oliver.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have time anymore. And so you're already going through that, which is why you have the lighter load.
Right.
Right.
So I think just balancing things too is also something.
Balancing.
I will murder you in your sleep, Kaila. She's been making fun of my talking all night long here. But yeah, finding a podcasting / mothering balance, home life balance has been a learning thing too. So
yeah, and I tend to be like the type of person that I get focused and then I can't stop.
Yeah,
and like I just kind of get obsessive, and then I get going, and I have like these brainstorm whirlwind. And Rachel's like, Kaila, slow down. You're making me anxious.
Like, I'm in the middle of a poop cleanup here. I can't get into it right now. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I said content ideas are hardest for me. I brainstorm, but then with it being 2 of us, some podcasters do this by themselves, but with 2 people, it's difficult because you have to both like it and be excited about it. And I know that would cause some tension, because I thought this was a great idea, and you're like, not feeling it, So. Yeah. Plus, when you get excited about an idea and then it doesn't pan out, that's so frustrating, because you put in like hours of research and then you're back at square one.
What are your goals for the podcast?
This is interesting to me, because I feel like we were kind of on the same page with this, but then as like life has changed, we've kind of had to slow down or speed up or whatever. So let's see if our goals match.
Okay.
This could be interesting. My main goal is to have a merch line.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I have so many ideas and I really just want to have all the stuff for me, let alone just like other people. And I know other people have requested
I want hoodies
for all this cold weather we're having.
As it was 91 degrees outside today. Or
October 1st as we're recording this.
Yeah.
And it was 96 degrees. Okay. So then another goal, potentially, if we got the audience for it, I would love to have a Patreon and see if we could get the podcast to the point of being self-sufficient. Just because it does take a lot of time and effort. And I think if you're, if it's running itself, it would be so much more fulfilling. It's super fulfilling now, but that would just be so cool to see that kind of growth.
Right.
And then long term, and this is just like...
Oh, I would love to hear it.
I would love to meet some of these people that we've connected with through social media, whether that be like going to convention and meeting these other podcasters that we've connected with, or having like a meet and greet for like the listeners that we've connected with. Because, I mean, you guys really are like a spooky family to us.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I would love to like just chit chat, and I don't know, that might be your worst nightmare as an introvert, but as a extroverted introvert.
If they're like-minded people and we just get going on these topics,
Right?
like they've become family. It's less about, socializing too much and more about just meeting family.
Exactly.
So.
No, I wouldn't want like event hall, 300 people queuing in line. No, I want like a coffee get together with like 5 of our closest listeners.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Yes. Okay. So
You're
goals.
like, not my goals.
No. No. My goals are, I think the merch line is really cool. I want to figure out enough of a balance because, like I said, the balance is hard. It's been hard because podcasting is a lot more involved than I realized.
Yeah.
And it's not a free thing.
No.
It's not like I'm going to start podcasting and then you just like don't drop any money into it and just start it. It costs money to do this. So for it to be self-sufficient, we would need to come up with, ideas to give you guys more content that's manageable for us.
Yes.
So I would like this podcast to be self-sufficient. That is a really fantastic goal for me. Also. And I think it would be, this might kind of surprise you, but I think it would be kind of cool someday to like maybe do like a little bit of like a mini tour around the US. Just to
my God. Seriously?
Yeah, just to like
sorry,
maybe visit some of the places that we've talked about and like go through them with you guys and like do just like fun, maybe a few live shows. I don't know, like
that would be so cool.
I think that'd be really cool. I don't want to like put off that I like dislike people. I don't dislike people. I really
totally
do
joking.
Enjoy people, but I am an introvert. But I also don't get nervous about like meeting people or speaking in front of people or whatever. And how fun would it be to just, I don't know, hit the road for a little while and take a little vacation.
And don't come back no more. No, sorry. You set me off.
So, I don't know, maybe.
I think that's so cool. I never would have thought you'd want to go there.
Definitely. I think it would be a really fun little road trip, maybe.
I'm down for a road trip. Let's come up with some Spotify playlists.
We could stay at all the haunted locations along the way. I'm just...
What episode has taken the longest to edit? Oh,
I
that's
can't
a
answer
question.
this. This is just you.
Okay, you asked me.
What episode has taken the longest to edit, Kayla?
Okay, so the first Ghost Stories episode. I was still...
Oh, right.
I was still getting the hang of editing, and then we decided let's add music to these,
which I really loved.
Yes, but I had to find royalty-free tracks and figure out how to import them, and then chop them down and put them in the parts where we were actually telling the stories, not just like going back and forth or laughing like hyenas. And so then in that first one too, I got really upset because I was like nervous telling my stories, so I started talking really, really fast. And so I was like, oh, there's this neat thing where I can slow myself down.
Oh, yeah.
Haha, it slowed me down and not you. So then we were talking over each other and I'm like, what have I done? So that was just a hot mess. And it took me a long time to figure out how to fix that.
Yeah.
So lesson learned, kids. Save your episode multiple times in like different files so you can just revert back.
Yeah.
Do you listen to any other podcasts?
Okay, let me pull up my podcasts. Hold on here.
I'm going to explain why I'm asking you this one. I'm a visual person and I really, really struggle with just listening. Plus, I have a kid that just takes joy in talking over everything I'm trying to listen to. So when I'm trying to actually take in a podcast or content, like something I have to focus on, I can't.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to like tune into a YouTube video where there's like something to look at
Yeah.
than it is to listen to podcasts. So I really, really struggle. I have tried. And when we review podcasts, I will go in and listen to bits and pieces of it to give like a valid review.
Right.
But as far as like a hobby, I'm so busy anyway.
Yeah.
But then finding the time to like sit down for an hour and listen to somebody talk is really, really hard for me. So.
Yeah. I do love podcasts. I also listened to a ton when my youngest son was a baby.
Oh yeah, those nursing things.
Yes, because I rarely slept and I didn't want to have any noise, to wake him up. So I
might be listening to podcasts.
So I would put like an ear pod in and, while I rocked him or nursed him, I would just be listening and it would entertain me through the long hours of the night where I was literally just running on empty. So I listened to Ear Biscuits with Rhett and Link.
Okay.
Which I love Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning. They're so funny. And I really like I like them as people. So I enjoy listening to them. I don't listen to anybody I wouldn't want to hang out with and talk to.
Yeah.
I listened to the Jenna and Julian podcast, which is Jenna Marbles and her boyfriend. I listened to Up and Vanished, and there's another one, Dirty John. Up and Vanished and Dirty John were both true crime podcasts that were fascinating. They were so good. Sometimes listen to Jim Harold's Campfire, which is people sending in personal stories. That's all it is.
That's right. I've seen that one.
Jim, I'm not going to... Okay.
He was really monotone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say too much about it, but the stories of the listeners were interesting. I just couldn't quite get into him as a host.
Yeah, it's really hard to like connect with the host. Like if you don't connect with them right off, I think it's really, really hard to continue with the podcast.
Right. And I feel like some of his responses were more, they just didn't feel as sincere.
More like rehearsed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they would like tell their story and then he'd be like, wow, that's okay. Well, that's fascinating. Thank you for telling us that story. And like, I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, that really happened to you? Like, are you crazy? Like, how are you still standing here and not freaked out?
So it was like Delilah vibes. Have y'all ever listened to Delilah?
Delilah.
This is a shout out from Reba to Jim. Jim, if you're listening, she wants you to know she misses you. Haven't spoken in 6 years, but you might be listening at 9:39 p.m. to this
to this light rock station. And here comes...
And then what's the song that they play?
My Heart Will Go On. And, Celine Dion. I also sometimes listen to And That's Why We Drink sometimes.
Okay, this is one of my questions.
Okay.
This is going to sound really conceited if I don't answer it first. What is your favorite thing about the other person?
Kaila, I would love to answer that. My favorite thing about Kaila is how hardworking she is and how committed she is to not only our friendship, but the podcast. And what I love about Kaila is she takes things with a grain of salt. So like if I say, dude, I can't handle the podcast this week, I'm just like, it's too much for me right now. As far as just like marketing and like, doing social media stuff, she's like, okay, I totally understand. And I got it. And she won't talk to me about the podcast. She will just be a good friend during that time. And she'll take over and she just does it with a smile, And so I love that about her. And I love, the thing that really is solidified the fact that Kaila will be a heart friend forever is when I lost my cat, which sounds so cat lady like, but she was just a big part of my life. I am a crazy cat lady.
I'm sure there's bajillions of people out there that get this.
Yeah. I was it was a really tough time for me. And I called her the night that I lost her.
Minutes after it happened.
Yeah. And it was late and I was sobbing and I don't love to show my emotions to people. And like the next day I hung out with her and her son just to get out of the house. And she just was sympathetic and there for me. And then also helped me adopt my other kitten who didn't replace my cat that passed away, but has brought joy into my life since then. So, she just all around.
Don't leave out my personal favorite.
Great gal.
I'm not trying to brag, but the pillow.
Oh,
I don't think they know about the pillow.
She also, this is really sweet. Kaila, I'm sorry. Let me tell that a little bit.
We need to post this in the podcast group. It makes me laugh.
She had a pillow made for me of my cat that had passed away, and
y'all need to see the face.
She's making a face. It's really cute, and
she saw it and she starts like laughing and then sobbing and then like doing both at the same time. I'm like, okay, do you hate it or do you love it? Do you hate it or do you love it? I'm confused.
I loved it. And so, because I used to, sounds so cat lady like, I used to cuddle with my cat every night, guys, okay? And now I can't do that. And so she made me a pillow, so now I can. And that is very, very sweet.
It made me laugh with the face. So maybe we'll post that in the group so you can
okay,
see it.
we can, yes.
Okay, I love Rachel's sense of humor. She makes me laugh all the time. Even if there's like some tension or stress related to an episode or whatever, like we're best friends, but we do fight occasionally, you know?
Yeah, I would say we have disagreements.
It's like a conflict of ideas.
Yes.
You know, I think everybody goes through it.
Yeah.
But, you know, even when I'm like getting all anxious and like worked up, I mean, I'm just going to say what you said to me. Let's just work this out, you know, and it just sets me at ease. And then we're able to actually work it out.
Yeah.
So I think that's like a very unique thing because I'm like this person that I build something up in my head to be more than it is.
Uh-huh.
And so for you to be able to diffuse that is a very unique ability. So
good.
And you're always making me laugh. I mean, I think you're hilarious.
Thank you.
Our husbands don't appreciate it.
They don't. I don't think my husband thinks I'm funny at all.
And you're very, very considerate too, which I appreciate.
Thanks.
Like you can, I think it's the empath in you, but you can like sense when something's off with me and you're like, what's wrong?
Yeah. Hey, how are you? Are you okay? What's wrong? You're not acting like yourself. Yeah.
I know. And I love that about you. I think that's great.
Well, that was sweet. That was a good question. I like it. All right. Before we hit the heavy,
I still have a couple
question.
questions.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we hit the heavy question at the end. Okay.
This would be edited out normally, guys. See, you're getting the behind the scenes of our episodes.
Okay, so favorite memory from this first quote unquote season of podcasting together.
Shoot. Okay.
Do you want me to answer it first so you can think?
Yeah.
Okay. My favorite was when we were recording listener stories 2. And we just got so freaked out.
Oh,
we
yeah.
started laughing. It's in the episode, but what you guys didn't hear, that episode took us like 3 hours to record because we would just literally start crying from laughing so hard and have to stop. And then every time we started again, it would happen again.
Yeah.
And it was just like every single story, something triggered us.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so fun. And then like at the end, we just spent time like rewinding and listening to it over again. It was so great.
Dude, I guess that would have to be mine too. Like that was a really fun episode. I guess it would be that or shoot. It's just fun. Like there's been a few episodes and we've scrapped a few where we haven't felt like the content is what we want to put out into the world and we're not proud of it enough. But like we just get to like hang out and it's always just fun. I would say that. Yeah, but that episode in particular.
I will say, and we'll talk about this in a minute, but when I pulled out the board. Your face.
Oh, yeah.
You were like horrified, but also like so excited. It was like a kid on Christmas. It's
Indeed.
Great. Okay. What do you see as the biggest accomplishment achieved so far in the podcast realm for our podcast?
You know what I'm amazed by?
Probably the same thing I wrote down, which is,
I don't know, that people actually listen.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, the fact that people actually listen, and not only that, but they like us and recommend us to other people.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Yeah. It really, really is just awe-inspiring to me because...
Thank you guys so much. We love you.
We literally couldn't do this without you.
No.
I love our Facebook group. That's my favorite thing about the whole
I really
podcast.
connect. Well, I love Facebook group too, but Twitter, like...
Oh, yeah.
That I've met a ton of podcasters on Twitter, so that's been really, really fun. It's just like tossing back ideas and, hey, how'd you get this to work? And you know, that's been really fun having that support.
Yeah, I just feel like a proud mama though, like with the Facebook group because we do have to have it set where we approve posts because we've had some issues. But most I would say 98% of posts go through. You know, so it just makes me a proud
we
mama.
Don't want to
bear.
See your butt.
Right. Yeah. Or your
workouts.
When there's a pending post and people are just sharing what they think is either funny or creepy or like what would start a conversation. And I just get to approve those little posts and just feel like, oh my gosh, you're just so excited to communicate with, you know, our little family. And it just makes my heart swell with pride.
Something that's been really interesting to me, and I found this out on Twitter through the podcasting network, is a lot of people in the podcast world struggle with getting a Facebook group going. It's just kind of like a barren wasteland with tumbleweeds blowing across. And a lot of them are like, do we even need a Facebook? And I'm over here like, our Facebook's great. You know, like, I mean, you guys post so much content. We don't even have to post if we don't want to. Like, you keep it going, and we love that.
Yeah, there are days that go by where I'm like, shoot, we haven't posted much. But then I'm like, well, but everybody
there's an influx of posts, so we just kind of forget unless it's like something we need to tell you guys.
Right. So it's just fun. I love it. I forgot to say what my least favorite part of podcasting was. Can I say it now? I don't even know if that was a question.
That wasn't a question.
Can I say it?
But go ahead.
Reading out loud.
Oh, yeah. Our next episode that's about to come out is a Scary Stories one. You guys will have heard it by now. But Rachel...
Guys, I suck at reading things like out loud. I suck at it so bad. It's not even funny.
Okay. Well, you don't read the whole story.
I don't.
And so you'll get halfway through and then you're like, this doesn't make any sense. And so then she has to go back and find a story that does make sense.
But it's not only that, though. Like, it's the fact that I can't read a freaking sentence without tripping over every other word. It's like my brain can't do it.
I think you get in your head about it.
I do, too. I get nervous.
Yeah. I can read it fine, but I'm like gasping for air every 5 seconds. So I'll read a sentence and be like,
yeah. Like the sentence, do you listen to any other podcasts? Here in my notes, I'd be like, do you listen to any other podcasts? And just put the emphasis on the wrong syllables. I just mess everything up. It's really hard. And I'm sure like editing Kayla's like, good Lord, we need to not do any more of these episodes.
I haven't gotten to that one yet, but you've already said, I don't want to do that again.
Do I think the content is fun and interesting? Yes. But
we had to record that one in 2 sessions because Rachel got so frustrated with herself.
So anyway, that's my least favorite part about podcasting.
So if you're going to do a podcast, be flexible.
That's right.
That's one thing we've learned.
That's right.
Okay. Then my last question. This was the one I had not thought of an answer yet. So the funniest thing / moment the listeners don't know about. We share everything with you guys, so that one's kind of hard. But since it happened in today's episode,
Kaila makes me really relaxed. And it's after a full day of eating food, guys. So
we've had to stop so she could poop a couple times now. And it's just so random.
We'll be like talking. I'll be like, I gotta poop.
Sorry. But it's so efficient. That's what's impressive.
I'm quick.
You are. I'm used to my husband who's in there like sending emails and crap.
Right. Solving the world's problems. Yeah. No. So probably that.
While we're talking about poop, I'm sorry, y'all, but I have to tell you this story.
I was like, do you have to poop? Go ahead.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
So today, my son, I heard him like grunting. He's potty trained, but sometimes he like forgets to get up and go to the bathroom when it's time to poop. So I hear him grunting. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm trying to poop. I'm like, go to the toilet. So he goes in there and we get him on the toilet. And I've been trying to teach him to wipe himself. So I still stand and like, supervise.
Supervise. Yeah.
I hear a thunk.
Oh.
He gets off the toilet. That is the longest turd I've seen come out of a toddler.
Oh.
It had to be at least 6 inches.
Poor buddy.
I'm not even joking. It didn't even hurt him.
Yeah.
And he was so impressed with himself. He goes, Mom, are you proud of me? We flushed the toilet. It gets clogged. I'm like, well, you are your father's son.
And yes, I am proud of you, honey.
I know. I was like, good poop. Good job.
Yeah. That's like my son plays Fortnite all the time, and he always wants to like show me his kills. He's like, Mom, look how many kills I have. And I'm always like, great murderers, honey. You're a great little murderer. And he's like, don't say that, Mom. And I'm like, well, you are, honey. You're a good little murderer. So, okay.
The last question.
Kaila, what really happened during the Ouija board session?
Some people may not even know that we had a Ouija board session.
Yeah, true.
We deleted that podcast. We deleted the live stream.
Yep.
Don't mess with the demons, y'all.
So we had an episode. I think we covered this in the last episode.
I think we lightly glazed over it, but we were still a little shaken.
Vague. Yeah. We wanted to surprise each other with content. And it was supposed to be, like I said, every other episode is scary. So it was a scarier episode.
And I took it a little too far. I got competitive. Okay, I'm a competitive person. And Rachel was like, let's just see who can come up with scary content. Or I don't even think you phrased it that way.
Yeah.
I phrased it that way. I got it in my head that we were like, okay, who's going to be scarier?
Yeah.
And so my brain goes, hey, she's been teasing me about a Ouija board for months.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the Ouija board.
And I thought demon possession was a really great choice on my end.
The two combined, the fact that we just like talked about their glorified possession for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, hey, not only do I have a Ouija board, I made it.
I put my whole soul and energy into this board. No. I talked about it. Then Kaila brought up the Ouija board, which I thought was fascinating because honestly, I thought it was probably like, this is why we don't do Ouija boards, Rachel, because I'm going to tell you all this really crazy stuff about them. But she said that there was a game at the end. And
I was so shocked you didn't pick up, like put two and two together.
I didn't, because I never thought in a million years that you would do it. So I thought we do a lot of games where we like quiz each other on things, as you know, or like a telepathy type of a game, you know, like just, they're usually lighthearted.
But what Rachel didn't know was the night before, I had torn off a piece of cardboard and sat and made my own Ouija board that I'd stowed behind a dresser in the podcast room.
Yeah. So when she brought it out, guys,
she was like an 8-year-old on Christmas morning.
I lost it. It was gone. It wasn't even in my head anymore.
Okay, and you have to understand, in my head, I'm thinking, we've talked about multiple times, you guys have heard it in episodes, where we're like, heck no, we're not making a homemade Ouija board. That's how you summon a demon.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, okay, as soon as she sees this homemade Ouija board, she's going to be like, that's cute, but no. I've learned not to
let's get the ottoman. Where are we putting this? Are we going to do it on Facebook Live? We need to probably do it on Facebook Live.
Yeah. I've never seen you go so fast.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Just the excitement was abounding.
Which, okay, we need to preface this too. In my Ouija board section, I talked about the history of the Ouija board, but I also talked about the demon of the Ouija board, Zozo. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, like, that's not going to happen, you know? Like,
what are the chances?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, apparently he was listening.
Because Kaila, okay, here's what I was disappointed in myself about was I am a big mom. Like, we're both mama bears, you know? And
I'm pregnant and I'm sure, let's sit here and do a Ouija board session with this baby in my belly.
Yeah, like, I really wish that I wouldn't. I never said I would. I would always never do it in the house. Like, it was just like, it was off limits. I don't
think it would have mattered.
You know?
Truthfully, I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah, I know. But just like the mom guilt afterward, I was like, why did I do this?
I
like,
think the demon was guilting us.
Maybe. I don't know. But so we get it all set up. A few of you tuned in on our Facebook.
There were quite a few of you.
Yeah.
And you guys gave us the questions to ask. So I want you to know it's your fault.
Guys, we don't know if Zozo likes pizza. I just want to throw that out there.
No, Zozo was dead silent on the pizza question. But basically, we set it up and we had, like, you know, the normal alphabet, numbers 0 to 9, and then yes and no on the top, hello and goodbye on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And we did like the whole circling it around the board, saying we only wanted positive entities.
Yeah, because you researched.
I did. I researched the crap out of this. I read the list of rules off to us.
Yep.
I was prepared, man.
Yeah, and we followed the rules. Like, you know, we did everything in our power to make it a positive experience.
I'm not sure that stuff's in your power, though.
True, yeah.
So we did the circling the board, and the first question we said, is anyone here? Mm-hmm. And that was supposed to be a yes or no question.
Right.
That sucker picks one.
Yeah.
And so then we're like, we asked if it liked pizza, and it didn't move. Not a single thing. I mean,
because demons don't eat.
Not pizza. So then we were like, okay, let's reset up, because the way the angle was with the camera, we weren't happy with it. So we like set the board up again, sat down on the floor together, asked the same question, is anyone here? And it goes right back to 1.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, this thing's intelligent.
Yeah.
So then the next question on the list is, what's your name?
And honestly, guys, it started working right away. I thought we might have to like ask a few questions for like because we used a shot class.
Yeah.
So ratchety. And it moved right away. And like our fingers, I promise you, with every fiber of my being, we're not on this thing. Like there was no pressure.
We were basically just holding it up, like keeping it
it
from falling over as it moved. That was it.
Yeah. And
at first I was like thinking it was Rachel playing a prank on me, because I knew for sure that I wasn't moving it. Like, there was no way in heck that I was going to, like, fudge this thing up, you know?
Yeah.
But then when I saw the terror on Rachel's face and then, like, the disappointment.
Yeah.
When we had to close the board, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that she for sure was not doing it.
No. And I even took my hand, because, like, it was moving to the right, and I took my left hand off to show that I wasn't pushing it. You know? So it was, I promise you guys, it was moving on its own, and it was going so fast. So.
And so when we asked what his name was, it started doing, like, random letters, which, come to find out, apparently is not a good sign. It did UOZZ. And when it went from O to Z, that sucker flew across the board. And then
there was, like, a divot in the middle of the board just because it was cardboard.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's where it had bent.
It almost fell over.
Yeah. And so we had to, like, write it up, and it just, like, kept on going.
So it flew to Z. And then we're like, okay, this is getting weird. And then it went to Q, which to me was odd because it's very similar to O.
Right.
It's literally only got a little tail on it. And then it flew back to Z again.
And I remember saying to Kaila, oh, shoot, it's going back to Z.
Yeah, you're like, don't go, don't go. I'm like, you're making it go. You're like willing it to go there. Stop talking about it. And when it went back to Z, I think we both knew it was just going to start going back and forth between Z and O.
No, it went back to O. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. We let it go back to O after the
We
Z.
deleted all memory of this. So. Then everything I'd read was if that comes through, you don't play around with it because it will harm your family. It will harm you, whatever it can get its hands on.
And it's Kaila and I are both, like, you know, I think we're both intuitive people when it comes to the other side. And, like,
we could feel it.
It just felt like this dread, you know, like this, like, heaviness in my
what
chest.
Have we
like,
done?
What just happened? Oh my gosh, we're so stupid. Like,
what have we done?
Yeah.
That was what kept going through my mind.
Yeah.
And so we closed it out and we poured holy oil on the board and she threw it in the trash. So there's probably like a haunted dumpster somewhere.
Wherever it ended up.
Yeah. But then what followed
Yeah.
was just proof to us that, first of all, that we can sense stuff. But second of all, we don't need to mess with that stuff again.
No.
You don't need to mess with that stuff again, people listening. Like that, it was real.
Like, my house just felt different after that, especially this room. Like, we went upstairs, Kaila and we anointed both of my son's doors. We came down and saged the downstairs, and, like, it just did not feel okay. It didn't feel right. And my husband was traveling that week, so I was alone here, and I had my mom come over, and she's a very spiritual person, and she's like, dude, what did you guys do? Like, there is something in there. And she had to come, and she anointed the whole room and prayed again. And honestly, after she did that, it felt 100% better.
But we both, and I'll talk about what happened at my house because
Yeah.
different stuff happened at my house, which was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But we both felt.
And the dreams. I had some messed up dreams after that. Yeah.
Like
No, I mean, I don't even remember them very clearly, but they were like those dreams that aren't dreams. It's like something's really happening to you. You're really there in the present and you're just in a different realm. Like, they weren't just dreams. And they were very negative, and they had to do with my kids being in danger, and it was just not cool.
Well, that night, I just felt like something was in the house. I felt a lot of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
I felt a lot of heaviness. It was different from the entity that followed me home after the shadow people. That one was just like attacking me. It was scaring me. But it was also trying to convince my son to jump out a second-story window. This thing was just like, I felt like instead of trying to scare me, it was literally trying to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
And that night, as I was falling asleep, we put my son in bed with us because I did not feel... Well, when I got home, he had a nightmare so bad he was drenched in sweat.
Mm-hmm.
He could not calm down. It was almost like he was sick because he kept waking up every hour or two just crying, not even being conscious. Like, he was just sobbing and soaked in sweat. And I'm like, this is not normal, you know?
Yeah.
And the heat thing was like a theme. After that happened, our smoke alarms started going off. And there was like no reason for it. They were just, like, the batteries were dying out of nowhere. So they were beeping constantly. The one in his room in particular did that. So we brought him into our room because I didn't feel good about him not having smoke alarm in his room. And I felt like there was something heavy in his room. And that night, as I was finally falling asleep, like I felt like I had to stay up to protect my family. Like that's what I felt like. This was my fault. I have to stay up and protect my family. And as I was falling asleep, I heard like, it's like in a horror movie when they start to like show hell, like that rumbling, like chaotic, fiery sound. I heard that, and then I felt all three of us being pulled off of our bed down into the ground. And I was like, wake up, wake up, wake up. And I woke up, and it was just like, I kind of snapped out of it. I felt like I got pulled back from it. I was like, okay, this is real.
Yeah.
You know? And then from there, I prayed over parts of the house. I prayed over my son. And I just felt like the presence got stronger and stronger. And it was almost like it was trying to take a stand at me. And so I decided to pray over the entire house. And I prayed over his room first and anointed the doors. And then I went to our room. And my husband and I both heard through the monitor what sounded like a demonic growl. And that to me was the end. Yeah. Mama Bear came out. I wasn't scared anymore. I went in. I anointed the heck out of his room. I anointed every single door, window, blind in our house. And every time I've had to do this, like I know it goes away because right as I'm getting to the last door, I'm just filled with like this anxiety, this dread. I'm like shaking and I can just feel it's fighting back. And as soon as I do that last door and cast it out, just immense peace covers me. And that was like all the guilt went away. All of the fear went away. It was just gone. And then I just felt like, how could I let that happen? You know, like that was what was so hard for me.
Well, that was a really hard. Do you guys use the app Marco Polo? Kaila and I use Marco Polo all the time. And it's just like you can send each other video messages and then respond to each other and all that. So anyway, she had sent me a Marco and she was just like, it was really tough to watch. Like she was beside herself, like
sobbing.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think after that, we both felt like something was attached to both the live video and the podcast episode. I kept having this like feeling that if I listened back to that episode that I was going to hear something. Yeah. Like it was going to talk to me. And I didn't want to give it that chance. So we just decided it's best not to put our listeners in danger. It's best not to put ourselves and our family in danger. And we just scrapped the whole thing.
Yeah, so you'll never hear it. And be thankful for that.
Yeah, because you might have gotten harassed by a demon. So
yeah,
don't mess with that stuff, kids.
Definitely do not. Do not. We learned a very important lesson because honestly, I think I would have been curious about it forever. Yeah. And I'm really glad in a way that it was such a horrible experience because I'm not tempted, not even a tiny bit to try that again. So.
Yeah. Well, and people were saying at the end of the live that there was like a face in the blanket.
In the blanket. I still don't think that was real.
I don't know. Maybe y'all were pranking us, but I didn't want to look at it too much. But every time I would watch that back, I felt weird.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just, we were trying to protect everybody and we learned our lesson. And it's really hard when you're in this genre to like figure out where those lines are.
Right. To like walk that thin line.
Yeah. And we've had that conversation many, many times since then. Like, how scary is too scary? How far is too far? You know?
So, yeah.
You may have trouble sleeping. No, we're going to insert bloopers here to lighten this episode.
I know. But we're also, since it's that time of the year when you're listening to this, we're going to talk about what we're thankful for.
Yes.
Oh, so Kaila, what are you thankful for?
I'm very thankful for my family and my friendship. And I'm thankful that we bonded over this and that we were able to, that it became something, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think if it hadn't taken off, we probably wouldn't have stuck it out, you know?
Right.
It takes a lot of time.
I am thankful for my 2 beautiful boys, this side of heaven. I have one on the other side of heaven who I will always include. So I'm thankful for my 3 boys. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for supportive friends who may not agree or be interested in any of the things that we talk about, but still like want success in our lives. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for my friendship with Kaila, how it's blossomed and how we've just gotten to know each other better. And we're both only children. So I think, we've gained a sister through this experience. Yeah. I'm thankful.
How many people cast out demons together?
Not many.
Exactly.
I'm thankful for everyone who chooses to listen to 2 stay-at-home moms who are a little quirky.
A lot, Courtney.
So,
and
yeah.
you guys don't judge us. You just love us for who we are, and that means a lot.
Yeah. I mean, some of you guys judge us and leave bad reviews, but I mean, it's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Well, we hope you guys enjoy this little holiday season, this break. We'll be back very, very soon. So you will only have a little bit of time off. And, we hope you guys have a good time at Christmas, enjoying your families. And we'll see you in about a month. And enjoy these bloopers. Good luck sleeping.
Good luck sleeping, guys. What toxic waste did they have at World War II? I felt like nuclear stuff came later.
Yeah. I mean, good question. That's a question I don't have the answer.
I was just thinking of like Chernobyl and how like there was...
Oh, Chernobyl terrifies me. That's insane.
Yeah, that was the radiation and everything.
Yeah.
But like there was nothing really from World War II.
Well, we know that this theory is kind of stupid anyway, so...
Wait, okay. I'm going to sound really stupid. You can cut this out. It was World War II when they dropped the bomb, the nuclear bomb.
Like Hiroshima?
On Hiroshima?
I don't know.
I think it was. We're cutting all of that.
I'm just really proud of myself that we knew the word Hiroshima. So, Kayla, how was your week?
I thought we were going to go over yours first because mine was so stressful.
Sure. I would love to
How
share.
was your week, Rachel?
Absolutely.
Let me start over because they're definitely going to hear that. Okay, the editing's going to be a nightmare. Okay, Rachel, how was your week?
Kayla, thanks for asking. My week was fine. Native Americans have their own reported sightings of Bigfoot that predate modern accounts.
Bitchfoot?
Did I say that?
Yes.
Let me start over.
I'll cut
Female.
this out, but this was what I wanted to ask you. I totally forgot. What's the name of the last show you watched?
Dead to Me.
That's the name of your vagina. Mine is Paradise Hotel.
Of course. You just watched that so that you could say that on this episode.
No, I'm dead serious.
You don't have to cut
It
that
was on it was on Twitter, and the girl who had watched it, hers was Instant Hotel. I was like, well, mine's not much better.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's dead to me.
I mean...
Okay, that's sidetracked.
There you go. Yeah. I was...
Sorry.
You can cut this out. I've been like, but the energy might have not been high when you and Dick Pirate. So... Little teaser for next week when you find out the meaning behind Dick Pirate.
Oh my god.
Love you, Kayla. So anyway...
Okay, so we walked to the other area and found no one. The direction... What's the direction? Oh my god.
That would have taken a turn.
Yes, it would.
All right.
Straight.
Holy. Wow. Didn't.
The direction he... I'll have to put this in the bloopers. My face is so red. Okay.
Okay, the erection.
I was about to do it right. The direction he had been walking in led to a stop nodding.
I just pictured his erection leading him.
Isn't that what they do?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Hello, spooky soulmates. How are you doing, Kayla?
I'm good, but I'm chewing.
Dang it.
Why did you saw me take a bite of a cookie? Why did you ask me?
I didn't know you chewed like a grandma. Just saying.
This is the woman who drives like one.
True story. Dang. Touche. All right, we're going to start over.
Oh, do I have to play the music? Because we already had that segment.
Yeah, it brings it into the mood.
Oh my god. In one corner of my grandma's living room stood a lamp that was almost never turned off. She would change the bulb every week like clockwork. Like clockwork. A soft thud. Then a dragging sound. I stared at the door, though it was only open enough to see a sliver of darkness. Thud. Drag. I clutched the blanket, my heart pounding in my chest. That was like slam poetry. I gotta read that sentence again. How can I make that more chilling? Thud. Drag. I never had a close call like that again. My parents found me smashing the mirror with my bare hands while screaming something about the man in the mirror. resist the urge to sing Michael Jackson, please.
It is there. Oh, before we do anything, Kayla, I have a surprise for you.
This terrifies me.
Kayla, could you open that drawer?
Oh, God.
Behind you?
No, I don't want to know what this is.
I'm just kidding. It's nothing in there. Just kidding. I'm trying to get Kayla to do a Ouija board with me really, really badly. And I told her, maybe I'll have one hidden around the room next time we record.
No, I will run out of here with my computer in hand.
Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry. Back to serious business. Geoffrey has accused Prince Andrew of having sex with her when she was a minor. A charge.
Okay, who was Prince Andrew?
Okay. Queen Elizabeth's son. Right?
No, that's William and Harry.
Let me just double check here.
Also, side note, I kept accidentally typoing Clinton. And I was like, that's actually really appropriate.
Duke of York.
Duke of York. So he is British. But whose is he?
Second, he is the third child and second son of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip.
They had more than 2 sons? Is that why we don't know about him? Because they're so ashamed? They just like disavowed him?
Oh, okay. So Anne is his sister and Prince Edward is his brother.
Okay, this is not adding up.
He's the Duke of York. He was born in 1960. He is a member of the British royal family.
It can't be the current queen. It's not her son. Her son is Charles.
Let's Wikipedia her because I'm gonna have to re-say.
Wait, is it like Charles? No, you said Edward was. We don't do history,
Queen
but
Elizabeth.
I feel it's really important to know this.
All right, let's look. Oh wait, no, she's dead. Hold on.
Wait, is Queen Victoria the one that's current?
Okay, hold on here. Oh god. I feel so dumb. I feel so dumb.
Do 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 do. I am so baffled right now. I've never heard of this man.
Who is?
I'm gonna pause.
Yeah.
Okay, breaking news.
Hold on, I have to re-say that, so maybe we'll bring it in at the end. And I'm going to be honest with you, we had no idea.
Did you know Queen Elizabeth had 4 children? I did not. I only knew about Charles. I only knew about Charles and his bloodline, I guess because that's the ones that's in the news.
Yeah.
But apparently, she also had Anne, Andrew, and Edward.
What a sad story.
Good luck sleeping.
Good luck sleeping, guys.
Is that the right way to end?
I don't know. I feel like we should actually end it. Okay. What a sad story.
Yeah.